We are here tonight because there's a subsection of the Republican Party that's no longer on board with Governor Chris Sununu. You represent that dissatisfaction. But a poll done in August by the St. Anselm College Survey Center shows that 60% of Granite Staters approve of the job he's doing. So how do you convince a majority of voters, let alone Republicans, that they're wrong about Governor Sununu? We'll begin with you, Mrs. Testerman.
Well, thank you very much for the question. Absolutely, he is one who has violated your constitutional rights. He had 9 people arrested in a peaceful meeting for allegedly saying amen. He's violated the Constitution when it says that we should defend life. He is coercing the taxpayer to pay for those abortions and the destruction of human life. And of course now he's even had press arrested outside of his home when they were just covering a situation. So there are a lot of places where the governor continues to violate people's rights, as well as flip-flopping on many of the decisions that he's written letters to say that he would uphold.
Let's go to you now, Mr. Aciard.
Well, I think that's kind of the wrong question to be asking. I mean, we're in a Republican primary. You are running for your party's nomination just as well as you're running to represent Granite Staters. So for the Republican nomination, you should be upholding to Republican principles. We do have principles in the Republican Party, or at least not according to Alexis de Tocqueville, but I would like to think that we're aiming towards a set of principles. We do protect life. We don't lie directly to our party. I believe in Ronald Reagan's 11th commandment. You're not supposed to be shooting out in public against your own party, but yet the governor goes out and does it every time that he gets in front of a microphone. He's perfectly happy to grandstand in front of a mic whenever he gets the opportunity and trash Republicans, but then can't deal with the same level of criticism. I was in that room when those 9 people were arrested. They were not arrested for disturbing the meeting. The warning wasn't given until after they had already done the Pledge of Allegiance and said amen, which was on their arrest sheets, which is a violation of their speech and a violation of their freedom of religion.
Your thoughts now, Mr. Riley?
Thank you so much for the question. You know, it's a complicated question, but I've spent the past 11 months going across the Granite State, and I've shaken hands and talked to thousands of people. I've heard their stories, and right now parents are so concerned about what's going on in New Hampshire schools. They're really concerned about their children. That's parents and grandparents. They're worried about inflation. They're worried about gas prices. They're worried about scarcity. There are so many things that are on Granite Staters' minds right now, and I've heard their stories from nursing homes to Republican committee meetings to high schools. I've been listening to what they've been saying. It is so much about their lives right now. Now they're starting to turn towards the primary season, and in these last few days, they understand one thing. They know what a career politician looks like, and they understand this. The only thing worse than electing a career politician is electing the same career politician. And Chris Sununu is a career politician. He does things every day that don't make sense to Granite Staters, but they're so busy with their lives right now. So we're here to kind of start a new thing, a new cultural movement here in New Hampshire of conservative, because it's going to take a conservative to lead us into 2023 and beyond.